Hey, everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trey. On this Friday, April the 19th, we're moving into May, boys.
It's going fast, man. What a year. It's flying by, I'll tell you that.
Kind of hitting full stride here with the MLB. Almost about to hit. Actually, no, I think some teams have hit to over 20 games now. So hitting full stride with that. I know last night, Thursday, was a little bit dead in terms of there was only 5 games, which makes betting a little bit more difficult. You really got to fine tune your skills for that. But yeah, it's definitely some interesting stuff going on. But we'll start off here with a quick recap from UFC 300 because as we had talked about last week, we did pick all the fights. I think actually we all did pretty well. I think we only missed. Yeah, no, and Trey led the charge. What, 2 losses,
Trey,
right?
3.
2 losses.
10-3, I think it was.
Okay.
About time you lead us on a board.
Oh, shut up. I felt the same way. I felt the same way too, Trent, but whatever.
Typing it in, I actually thought it was a typo at first. I was like,
oh, that's funny. That's funny.
0 and oh wait, no, that's 10. Okay, no.
I don't know for any listeners that did watch it or did get the pay-per-view or able to watch it a different way, but what a card overall, man. I think at first I was a little hesitant just looking at. I feel like they're scrapping together some fights to make UFC 300 kind of viable and a moneymaker, but
yeah,
the early prelims, like we talked about last week, even the prelims and everything else, man, they were stacked with like just quality fights. Not one that necessarily stood out, but just like every fight was a good matchup and a good fight. And it really lived up to the hype, in my opinion. There were great fights, including I think one of the best ones, which was on the prelims. But I'm sure that Holloway Gaethje fight, the Prohaska and
yes.
Raychik. What a fight, man! That was unbelievable. And at first, it looked like Yuri wasn't gonna, like, with his leg kicks and how injured he was. It was like, oh man, here we go again. Like, you're gonna drop, but he just got like stronger and stronger as the fight went on, and just it was awesome to watch. But
see, there was video of him outside, like the stadium the night before,
and you know what? And I felt bad for him in his post fight like press conference or whatever in the ring, where people were, I guess he was getting a lot of crap for saying he's a samurai. Yeah, he was like defending it and stuff, and like, like I wish he wouldn't have done that, because like I like the way he acts and he carries himself and how he really like buys into that mentality. But it was no, what I was going to say though is the fight that's going to be talked about, especially with how it ended and stuff, is the Gaethje Holloway fight. That's going to be legendary for years.
Yeah,
that burnt in UFC
fight.
history.
Yeah, that fight went completely opposite of what I had technically expected. I almost feel like they switched bodies. Because, I mean, I think, Trent, you and I talked about, like, did Holloway ever knock anybody out? And for him to do what he did, I mean, it was pretty special. And, for him just to kind of see, I've never, like, I like Gaethje, but, like, I'm never sold on him. Like, I'm never sold. Like, I never go into a Gaethje fight thinking, like, oh, man, Gaethje's going to dominate. I always have this suspicion that he's somehow going to lose. And I had the same suspicion, the other night. And sure enough, after he poked him in the eye 1,000 times, but
I said, well, that, and he broke his nose right at the end of round 1, which completely changed it. But
changed the whole game.
I think the thing with Gaethje is he's never going to be a guy that like maintains the streak of winning. Like, I think he got an interim belt at one point in time, but it's just his style. Like, he doesn't sit there and try to grapple and hold you and just control you. He wants to throw. He's going to kick the hell out of your front leg, and he's going to throw bombs. And I think it's actually good for the sport. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves a dynasty and also loves to hate a dynasty, but with him, it's like, man, like, he can come in. If you're a champion or a top contender, you don't want to fight him with how dangerous he is. But it also, like you said, Ty, can backfire for him. I mean, as we saw, he got knocked out. But I mean, it's interesting to see some of the round splits because it actually looked like it was 2-2 going into the last round.
Whew.
I don't know about that.
I mean, those were the scorecards released. I don't know if they were official, but I had Holloway winning the fight by decision. I thought easily or easier, but yeah, that was a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I love the main event. I did, but I didn't think who Pereira fought. I just didn't like the hill. Like I'm just not sold. I don't think he's done enough to deserve that 300 spot,
dude.
In the main event, he got knocked out.
Trent, he talked so much shit for
because he was scared
for weeks. But like, I forget, somebody put together this whole thing of all the things that he said to Pereira over the last couple of weeks. And I get it. Like, it's an entertainment business. I get it. But like, wow, to talk like that and then get knocked out the way he did in the first round. And I love the slow motion knockout where his eyes roll back in his head where he's like, oh boy, like, wow. That was, I mean, and Trey, to your point about, classic fights and stuff, Pereira holding off Herb Dean for a second and then knocking him out in the next punch was pretty magical.
Both those things, the Holloway pointing to the center of the ring, knocking him out with a second left, and that's how you're holding him off and kind of throwing him in the next second was pretty cool.
The Zhang Weili fight was pretty darn good too, guys.
It was. You're right. You're right.
I had no idea which way that was going to go.
I think that got over
back and forth, man.
That one gets overlooked because it was like we were all coming off this like crazy adrenaline rush from the Holloway Gaethje ending, and then you're like, oh my god, like this is a good fight, but man, I can't even like. Back to your guys' point in the Pereira and Hill fight, like I don't know, I just thought I don't know why people try to stand toe to toe with Alex Pereira, and Daniel Cormier just had a quote and wrapped it up awesome. He's like no disrespect to Alex and what he's accomplished. He's like his success is unmatched how quickly he's achieved in the UFC in his short career because he cannot wrestle a lick at all. And honestly, so why not? Why aren't more people trying to exploit that? Like you're gonna sit there and try to stand toe to toe with him. You're gonna get knocked out. His left hand is unbelievable. Like as we saw, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like it's MMA, UFC, like train to win. Like don't sit there and try to.
I don't know, man. You might have to think about the weight class then. I mean, at light heavyweight, I mean, how many guys are like wrestlers? I feel like there's a ton of kickboxers. There's a lot of boxers. It's a lot of like knockout guys, which don't get me wrong. I mean, you can make the argument though that Cormier was probably one of the last wrestlers.
Yeah.
And even he didn't wrestle.
One guy single fight who is, I think he's technically a heavyweight, but can drop is Aspinall, Tom Aspinall. And that'd be a good. I'd love to see that fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't Aspinall? Doesn't he get John Jones next? Isn't he the interim champ?
No, because Jones refuses to fight him. He wants to fight Stipe, and only Stipe.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope John Jones does fight. I mean, I hate the leave of absence as long as it is, but like. It's frustrating because I am a big John Jones fan, but man, he's exhausting. He's exhausting to be a fan of.
him and Conor McGregor, they're both exhausting.
Yeah, they're both exhausting.
They just draw out the UFC for publicity for years on end. And their fights aren't even that good. McGregor's last couple fights sucked, and so did
Jones. Last fight he snapped his leg, but
was that the last fight?
Yep. Yeah. Poirier.
Jeez, what was that, like 4 years ago?
That was a long time ago, but
no, it might have been 4 years ago.
I mean, I sent it. We were talking about it the other day in our group chat, but man, upcoming month of June, look out! Lots of UFC action, coming our way. So I'm excited. nothing better than a good full. I think that's what did it for me with this UFC 300 was the fact that like the prelims, the early prelims, and then even the regular prelims, they were so stacked that it was like entertaining all the way throughout. So
I don't know. I don't know if I ever watched prelims all the way through like that.
No, probably not. Not, but you almost had to. I mean,
dude, the first
it
one was
almost,
great.
As I say, it almost served as like another card before anything else like came about. You know, I mean, I even like, you know, it was good to see Bo Nickel win the way he did, but I really want to see him get a big name because he's starting to mix it up with some of the top guys on social media. So give him a chance. Let's see what he's got against the top guys. But hey, can I rattle off some of the upcoming fights?
Yeah, for sure.
June 1st, UFC 302. Makhachev, pronounce it for me, Trey. You're good at these last names. Makhachev versus Poirier. June 1st.
Islam. Again. You mean Islam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Next one's not a UFC fight, but it's two former UFC fighters that are going to box. Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal.
So, question for you. So they're boxing at a UFC fight?
No, it's a boxing event. It's not a UFC fight.
But is it during the UFC event or is it completely separate?
No, it's completely separate.
Okay, because I've seen it like in line with a graphic, and I'm like, hold on a second. They're gonna have a boxing match at a UFC fight. It was confusing.
I'd rather just see those two guys actually UFC fight rather than box.
Right? Yeah, I agree. Well, no, Diaz would kick his ass.
Oh, interesting. Then you got Chimaev versus Whitaker. That's a fight. That's a fight night.
Yeah, I can't believe that's free.
So yeah. And then you got McGregor versus Chandler, June 29th.
I don't think that'll happen.
Ah, come on. We gotta have it happen.
I don't think it'll happen.
Does McGregor test positive for steroids?
No, I think he'd withdraw for some injury or something. Yeah, I do.
I will see.
Hey, that's a birthday fight if it does happen.
Nice.
So remember, Trey, Tyler is one that celebrates like birthday weeks.
Not anymore, that's dude. Crazy. I used to. I hate
birthdays.
No, I used to when I was younger. Now I don't even remember what the heck my age is sometimes. Like, oh yeah, all right.
All right, Blink 182.
Yeah. But the only difference, though, people did like me when I was 23.
Okay. So he thinks.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, hey, what are we getting into here? Strike ball and wild pitch time. We are. Tell you what, Ty, you said it. We're almost now at the point where, well, we're not definitely not a quarter, are we? We're definitely not. I mean, 162 games. We've only played 20 games. Ain't gonna do that mental math right now, but
maybe about an eight.
Yeah, a lot of baseball. But I'll tell you what, we didn't have any crazy starts like last year's Tampa Bay Rays that went on that unbelievable run.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, teams are starting to separate, I think, from the pack. And I think there's some teams that everyone thought were going to be top dogs. And that's not showing to be the case right now. So are we ready to go with this strike ball wild pitch session? Trey, give us the rundown once again what a strike and a ball and a wild pitch is.
Yeah, just to reiterate, a ball is something that is bad or something that we don't like in the MLB right now. A strike is something good or that we do like in the MLB, and then a wild pitch is just like a bold take, hot take, or a crazy statistic. There's something you just want to share that is not expected, I guess you would say.
Yeah. All right. So, anybody willing to start, or would you? I mean,
I'll start.
We starting with a strike or a ball?
Let's start with a ball.
All right.
Something bad, something you don't like.
I was gonna start with a strike.
Oh, let's do it. All right, Tyler, start with a strike. Give us it.
All right. So my strike is a man by the name of Gunnar Henderson. His last 7 games right now, he's got 30 at bats. He's got 5 runs, 11 hits, Batting average is .367, and he's also has 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, and also a stolen base. Obviously, the official podcast of the Orioles. We do follow the Orioles a lot, but Gunnar Henderson's hot right now. Excuse me. He's one of the guys that I could have picked from many on that team at this point in time, but I do think Gunnar Henderson's kind of coming into his own a lot, as if he already hadn't. But he's playing really well right now.
Mm-hmm.
On the season, I'm sorry. I have it. There we go. On the season right now, he is batting .288. He's got 6 home runs and 15 RBIs. So playing pretty well, I'd say. They are, man. I'm telling you, they're a team that when you really want to talk about, looking back at last year, it was disappointing they lost initially, sure, to the Rangers, right? When it comes down to like playoff anything, it's the teams that can win and continue to fight all the way until the end of the game. And I think the Orioles are really showing that. I think Gunnar Henderson right now is one of those guys that's kind of leading that charge. So that's my strike is Gunnar Henderson.
Trey, go ahead.
I think we might have mentioned this. It might have even been someone's strike like 2 weeks ago or something like that. But the thing that I'm really liking right now is just the amount of young players that are getting called up to play in the actual big leagues early on. So Jackson Holiday, you got Wyatt Langford from the Rangers, and then even today or last night, Jack Leader had his first MLB start. Who was a great, I think, what was it? Vanderbilt? Is that where he's from?
I believe so.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
I think that's what it was. But either way, just seeing these guys, I know he's a little delayed, but still, like seeing these big name players that are making waves in college baseball, and then you forget about them for like 5 years, usually, or 6 years until they make their way up to the minors. You're seeing players like get their shots like either their first or second year now, and it's cool to see because they're still relevant. You still kind of remember them, and to be honest, I think it's what the MLB needs. It's just like storylines and big names to kind of make people tune in, and I just enjoy it. I know Holiday's not playing the best right now, and he's kind of figuring it out. But I mean, just seeing them up there competing is I think good for baseball.
Well, yeah, and you also got to understand. I mean, the guy's playing a new position technically.
Right.
He's 20 years old, man. The guy's 20 years old. I will say this. I did learn, though, that he is married at 20. So
interesting. Did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I heard it on the radio the other day. I was like, wow, it's interesting. That's young for this day and age. But, yeah, but he'll figure it out. Trent, before you go, can I kind of bounce off that, though? I did see that what was it? Two of the Orioles minor league players down in AAA ball are potential targets for trade. Some of those, I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but I did see that. So something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind in the sense of like, I don't know, maybe they're going to go after another big stud starting pitcher. I know Trey, you talked about Bieber before he got hurt, but like. So you got to keep in mind though, John Means is still there too. So he's still getting some tosses. So they're waiting for him to get full. No, I know it's not good. It's longer than it thought, but
no, I'm saying he's pitching horribly.
no, I know that. I'm saying that's why they haven't brought him up because I don't think they believe he's 100% yet. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was something just to kind of bounce off of Trey's younger guys in the MLB and stuff. So. Check out what's your strike?
Well, I'm going to bounce back to being the unofficial Orioles podcast, but since bringing back the Homer hose, now known as the hydration station, the Orioles.
I thought it was a dong bong.
Well, you got to be look careful. Keep PG, Trey. Okay, so it evolved from dong bong to Homer hose to now the new hydration station. So
how in the hell did we get dong bong?
A dong is a
I'll tell you,
a Homer.
Can I tell you, it was.
Oh, is that what it is? Didn't know where that was going. Well, a dong is.
And I think on the TV broadcast last year when they first showed it, and the guys called it the dong bong to the TV announcers, and they called it that, I think they caught some heat of saying, like, you guys can't be saying dong bong on TV. Like, so they had to change
it. That's what they call it in the dugout.
100%.
Yeah.
But everything about it, I love.
Give a shout out to Abby Miller too. Abby Miller's been putting out the dong bong song. That's freaking awesome.
But everything about just the whole like situation is hilarious. One, because the bullpen even has their own homer hose, dong bong, whatever you want to call it, out in the bullpen. And the way that they use it out there is the guys before each game get to pick one guy that they think's going to homer. And if their guy homers, they get to do a homer hose hit. Out in the bullpen. So the other night, if you saw some of those guys homer and whatnot, and you saw those guys out in the outfield doing it, it was pretty hilarious. But since bringing it back, I believe they said the Orioles have scored now 60 runs.
Oh, dude, it's nuts.
Yeah.
They're over 100 runs on the season already.
104.
Yep.
Yeah. In 17 games, I believe.
They toyed around with a really, really stupid little like handlebar celebration. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. First 2 or 3 games, that was the motion at second now, and then they actually had just literally a pair of handlebars that they held and like rode down the dugout after they homered. But they brought it back. Bats weren't going, and look at that. The hydration station seems to be here to stay. I mean, you have the splash zone in center field.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, got to keep it going. So I am all on the Orioles bringing back the hydration station, dong bong, homer hose, you call it. I will use this then to transition into my ball, if that's okay. If I go first on that. There is something about the Orioles I would like to make one of my balls, but I'll stick to just having a ball. Mine, I'm going with the Houston Astros.
That's why his nickname's Uniball.
No. But the Houston.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking more about his potential ball here.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
My potential
I heard him say the Astros,
and nobody ever calls me that, Tyler. But anyway, they 5 wins on the season, guys.
Hold on, you just said the Astros, didn't you?
They got 6, Trent.
Yep. Do they have a 6 now? So here's my thought on this. Give me my moment, Tyler. Stop. They currently trail, and I know it's not going to last for now, but they trail the Athletics, who also, by the way, are like 9-1 on the run line right now as underdogs. So heads up on that. But they trail the homeless, pretty much, Athletics, because now it's even looking like. Well, it's now the news is Vegas doesn't want them either. So,
what?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So me personally, it's like I know you can't win, your division or or clinch anything, but I think we talked about last year how getting too far behind in a hole can sometimes really, really be hard to get out of early in baseball, right? Oh, there's 162 games. I'm sorry, but you're in the AL now and you're in a division with the returning champion, the Rangers, and then you got the Orioles, the Yankees. You got that division where you're going to probably get 2, potentially 3 teams. I just think the Astros, maybe their run this year is going to have a little hiccup in it, where this might be a year where they might. It's almost a little bit of a wild pitch, but maybe they don't make the playoffs this year.
Oh man,
yeah.
So I'll change some things up a little bit, but I'll just kind of piggyback off that. Sorry, excuse me. That was going to be my wild pitch, is that the Astros don't make the playoffs. All right.
So
again, well, hold on. Go ahead. Round them up.
Yeah, no, my wild pitch is that the Astros do make the playoffs.
Oh, gosh.
That was my wild pitch week 1. Or
no,
sorry, 2 weeks ago.
No, you were Pirates.
Yeah.
No, well then it was the second one. One of the weeks. No,
all I'm saying is
one of them.
Right now,
I know what it was. I said my ball was the fact that the Astros were so bad right now, but they're going to be okay.
Yeah,
no, that's what it was. I kind of like
completely agree with that. They just haven't figured it out. I know, Trent, you said, "Oh, well, if you get too big in a hole," well, they're not too big in a hole right now. You mentioned the Rangers; they're 5 games back. That's it. Okay, that can switch in a week.
Let me touch on that trade before, because I'll switch things up, because I'm looking at that now. I'm not going to make that my wild pitch, but here's why they are okay. And to Trey's point, being only 5 games back in the AL West, Rangers are 11-9, Seattle Mariners and the Angels are both 9-10. The A's are 8-11, and the Astros are 6-14. So the fact that everybody is like crunched down the way that they are, there's nobody that's like standing out above the rest at all.
Even if they weren't.
And the way that they can hit. I mean, and that's what blows my mind is their pitching's good, their hitting's good. I don't know. Like,
they're just unlucky right now.
It's just
baseball. It's like they have 20 games under their belt. Like I said, we almost have 150 games left. The Astros are a good roster. They have a good roster. There's no denying that.
Who was it? Valdez that went out as their pitcher? The Framber?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, he had arm soreness
recently. Yeah.
Has he come back yet? Because I don't think he's pitched since that night. That remember we had him as our pick. I had him as my pick, and went out, and I ended up having to make a little audible.
It says as of today he played some light catch.
in the side yard.
Yeah. With his dad.
throwing some wiffle balls. But I don't know, man.
So we got our wild pitches out of the way. Ty, you can go on with your.
I didn't get my wild pitch out of the way.
That was Trent's ball.
That was my ball.
Okay. That was my wild pitch, but. Yeah, Ty, you can give us your ball.
Yeah. So, my ball is just kind of my disappointment in the fact that the Pirates are starting to come back down to earth. I made that my wild pitch earlier that the Pirates would make the playoffs. Lost 3 straight now. They're 11-8. Slowly dipping. They're now behind the Brewers and the Cubs. And honestly, the team right behind them right now is the Cincinnati Reds, who I think keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on the Reds. I like the Reds a lot. I like the Reds pitching. And obviously they have one of the most electric players in the game. So keep an eye on the Reds. But yeah, my ball's the fact that Ellie De La Cruz.
All right.
Inside the park home run the other day. But yeah, my ball's the fact the Pirates are starting to look like they're coming back down to earth. So they're kind of making me look like an idiot, but it's what it is.
Somebody told you so.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I don't think many people had the Brewers doing what they're doing right now. Even being ranked technically 20th, I think, power ranking wise. You know, the Cubs are 8th and they're behind them, but the Brewers right now, man, their bats are tough. Even after losing Corbin Burns, I mean, the fact that they're sitting at 11-6, they're doing all right now. And they put it on the Orioles. I think they scored over 20 runs in 2 games against them. So, I mean, Brewers are tough in that NL Central, but like I said, keep an eye on the Cincinnati Reds because I think they're pretty young. I think they're pretty talented. I think once they start to put it together, I think they'll figure some things out. But so balls the Pirates. Keep an eye on the Reds.
Trey, ball.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of going back to us being the official Orioles podcast. My ball, something I don't like right now.
I'm putting on a T-shirt just so you guys know. So I'll let you know on it. I'll let you know when I order it.
No, but I don't like is how freaking competitive the AL East is again. I think we're the only division with every team has double-digit wins now, at least 10 or more. No one's below 500. The only thing that's a little different is our run. Yeah, the Red Sox, but The only thing that's a little different is the run differential for some teams. But like, still, it's like, man, we dropped 2 games in a row. All of a sudden, we're 4th in our division now. It's like, I like it. I think it's good for the AL East and it's good for baseball. But like, I want to see the Orioles just have like a little bit of a comfy little cushion. You know what I mean? Like, you can drop a couple games or anything like that, and you'll be all right. But it doesn't seem that way this year in the AL East. So it's just something that I don't like as an Orioles podcast. So
it does not happen, dude.
It's
chew, man.
Yeah, and most years
easily the toughest.
Oh, by far, at least right now, and last year for sure. So
I mean, and the Yankees are going back to the old Yankees of the '90s when you just shell out money and just bring everybody in.
Well, they've been like that forever.
Yeah.
They've
shelled out money but haven't been good. I know, and I'm not saying Soto's the reason, but like the fact that you're going to put Soto in Yankee Stadium like that, like get the heck out
with Aaron Judge, like, with Giancarlo Stanton, with
like you know what I mean,
Carlos Rodon,
because correct me if I'm wrong. It's right field that's like short as shit in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it's like a little park.
And Juan Soto is a left-handed batter. Like, of course he's going to get his. Like, come on.
Yeah. We all right.
It's so frustrating. I hate it. But real quick, I'd like to dedicate this pop top to Richard.
There it is.
Cheers, Richard.
No, I'll start us off with wild pitch though. It's already kind of gave it, and that is that I think the Astros are okay. I don't think they're in panic mode yet. I think it's early.
They're okay. Season. That's pretty wild, Trey. Let's get a little more bold with that.
Okay, like as in they're going to make the playoffs. As in they're going to make the playoffs.
Trey, that was like throwing lightly in the side.
Okay, they're last place in their division. They have the 4th worst record in the MLB. So, and I'm going to say they're going to make the playoffs. So that is pretty wild of me. Thank you.
Yeah, not yet.
And you just said they weren't going to make the playoffs.
Exactly. That is a wild pitch.
That's
picking the fourth worst team in the MLB to not make the playoffs is so wild.
But it's the Astros.
Doesn't matter.
I said
live in the now.
They're definitively not making the playoffs. You said,
and I'm saying they are.
What's okay? Is okay 500, Trey?
Want to make a beer bet on it? Playoffs or no playoffs?
Ooh, that's a trend. That's a good beer bet.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, come on.
I need more.
Exactly, Tyler. Exactly, Tyler.
Trey, no.
It's so comical.
I want just because. Hold on, we all deny beer bets from time to time.
You deny them all the time. The only ones you take are the ones that you initiate. You never
or manipulate the lines on, Tyler.
Yeah, you never accept.
Yep.
Anytime somebody else is like, "Hey, Trent, you want a beer bet?" You're like, "Nah." No. But if you're like, "Hey, you beer bet me," and if you don't, meow.
I've taken them. I've taken them.
Bull.
I've taken them. Bull. Trey started them meowing. But anyway,
I'm totally on Tyler's side here.
I think give me 10 more games.
No, because then all of a sudden we go 8-2. You're not going to make the beer bet.
Who's we?
Yeah, he's that little Astros fan over there.
Well, I don't get you to bet it.
Stealing signs now? Jeez.
Oh, my gosh.
I heard a trash can. All right, my wild pitch.
Good.
Maybe this is like it's definitely more wild than Trey saying a team's going to be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and predict, especially with what the power rankings are that came out. Everyone see the power rankings?
I've seen some, but
number 1, number 2, Dodgers and Braves have been like kind of flipping and flopping back and forth, right? So I am saying that the Phillies are going to win the NL East.
Yeah.
I think they started better than the past 2 years where they've made their runs. The past 2 playoff runs they've done it as a wild card, correct?
Yeah,
I believe so. So because the Braves, but then they always have the Braves number. Actually, we talked about that on the show. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Phillies are going to win their division pennant.
Damn, 1 game back. That's pretty bold, dude.
But in terms of power rankings, Trey, the overall, I mean, sorry, good try. You want to beer bet that?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. Look, I didn't meow. I didn't even meow.
All right, Tyler, it's your wild pitch.
All right. My wild pitch is that Madison Bumgarner comes back and becomes a pitcher this year.
Stop.
Wow.
You're begging for K-prop unders. That's what
dude,
you're
I am begging.
That's a good one.
No, it's I was just kind of researching him earlier today. I'm like, man, is he still around? Like there's no stats on him in 2024, so I don't even know if he's
what's Alek Manoah up to at this point?
Oh my gosh.
That's another one.
He's horrible. He is pitching in the minors.
Is he
still in the minors?
Yeah. And he got rocked. He got knocked around.
Who? Well, I had somebody else though from the Royals. Jordan Lyles.
Yes.
Yep. Jordan Lyles last year.
Jordan Lyles. That. Yep. Jordan Lyles is another one. But I actually think that Jordan Lyles has been doing pretty well. Weird enough.
Well,
I haven't
not from a K standpoint, but
I haven't found that guy yet. You know how like that pitcher each year that is like the automatic fade. I don't. Is there anybody on your radar right now that's an automatic fade? I haven't found anybody yet. That'll be a good topic to talk about soon.
All right, here, because technically, again, I'm not Baumgartner's not my wild pitch. I'll make this my wild pitch is fade Flexen.
Wow.
So what about Miles Mikolas?
Hold on.
No,
Trey, you're not going to address Tyler's mediocre wild pitch there. Did you hear him?
No, what'd he say?
Fade Flexen? Like, no crap, Fade Flexen. Like, my goodness, he had one good year, like 3 years ago.
I'll tell you who sucks is Patrick Corbin from the Nationals.
Yeah, but
he sucks.
The Nationals are tough to figure out.
Four starts. He's 4 starts, 0-3, and 8.06 ERA, 20 earned runs. Wow, awful. It's awful.
No.
Interesting.
He averages 2 walks or hits per inning pitched. That's awful.
Yeah, that's not good. But
I'll say this. So just to kind of put that in perspective.
Is this a third wild pitch, Tyler? Hold on.
No, I'm done with wild pitches. Okay. I'm going to say Madison Bumgarner. I am going to say he comes back at some point in the MLB this season. Yes.
Gosh.
And Alek Manoah will be on an MLB team.
Oh God, that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, it's a wild pitch.
Yeah.
It's not wishful thinking. It's a wild pitch. No, so I will say this. So from a K-prop standpoint, like I told you guys earlier, I am keeping track of this. I'm monitoring and seeing what their over-unders are, what they're capped at, what they actually have, and how many I'm getting correct. So not only do I have that also put together in terms of pitchers and stuff that I bet on, I also have 19 other pitchers on what I'm calling like a watch list right now that I'm monitoring, from all different teams, across the board. Once I bet them, all right, I'm taking them off the watch list. So like the other day, one of my guys to watch was one of my favorite last names, Fat. Pfaadt from the Diamondbacks. So he was on my watch.
That?
Yeah, it is.
How else would you pronounce it?
Fat.
Pathetic. I don't know.
Fat
is totally fat. But so he was on my watch list. Bet him yesterday under 6.5. Obviously, it hit because he was at 6. So I took him off the watch list. So I have 19 pitchers on the watch list. I'm also doing this in order to kind of prepare, moving forward, even into next season. In the sense of I do have on the watch list this year, knowing that he won't play this year, but I do have Spencer Strider on there just to kind of keep his name around. Just, for like, hey, who do we bet on? Who's good, who was bad, and all this stuff. So really doing a lot of research in that. I know, Trey, you have a whole system that goes into your walk props and stuff. Yeah. So I think, I have a system. Yeah. It's kind of rough around the edges with my system of K props, but a lot of research goes involved in I look at their games, I look at their innings that they pitch. I also look at the teams that they play on because, there's some teams that like you're going to be done after 5 no matter what, and then there's some teams that are like, hey, if you're at 94 pitches, like we'll pull you after you get to 110, like the Reds the other night with freaking Hunter Green. Sorry, 2 games ago.
Yeah.
But, man.
So I think age has a lot to do with it. If they're younger for some reason, they don't go as long.
Here's a question. Is Verlander still pitching?
Shut up, Trent.
Verlander makes his debut tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So Trey, what you're saying is they need hymns.
Shut up. Yeah. Hey, take a sponsor.
It's exactly what he said that.
Once I said it and then Trent smirked, I was like, God, I can't say anything.
Shout out to hymns. Shout out to hymns. Keeping it hard going long.
Jeez. These sponsors. Anyway,
hey, Applebee's, hymns, Trogs. You pick.
Tyler just wants riblets.
Yeah.
No, Trey. How many times do I have to tell you? It's not the riblet. It's the shrimp.
It's the shrimp.
Do you like them both, dude?
I would say the riblets are probably the last thing I would pick of those 3 choices.
Heard you talk quite a bit.
It's shrimp, it's chicken, and then it's the riblets because the riblets are a little dry.
The real question is, what did Buzz Williams eat?
I wish I knew. No, because I was on the other side of the restaurant and he denied his existence.
I'll tell you what one of their classic items is.
He probably had the fish tacos.
Why?
Because they're the tits. Because they're the
tits.
I
knew it was coming.
Do you know what my favorite Applebee's item is?
Why are we sports podcast?
It's the Oriental chicken salad.
Hey, new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oriental chicken salad. All right, Trent, you gotta tell us. Trent, what's yours?
Favorite Applebee's.
I'm super simple, and you guys are both gonna just dog.
Can I say?
The chicken finger platter.
Basket. Yeah.
No, not a basket. That's less chicken fingers and less fries. The platter.
Extra honey mustard.
Platter. Oh yeah.
Trent gets chicken fingers
everywhere. He gets them everywhere.
They're hard to mess up.
Trent, what seafood would you like? The chicken fingers.
Oh yeah.
That's how I say it too. Tyler, you kind of stole my thunder. Following our news segment, the car side to go take now. But Tyler, you kind of got me with your strike tonight with Gunnar because he was my wild pitch. My wild pitch was going to say Gunnar Henderson for MVP. That was going to be my wild pitch tonight.
You should have made that your MVP. That would have been a good one.
Plus 1,000 right now.
Ooh, DK.
Yep, and FanDuel, whichever one.
Hashtag DK partner.
Then forget what I just said about FanDuel. DraftKings all the way. But
all right, guys, what's next?
Oh well, we got to talk about the league that is going to be dominating the headlines next week on Thursday.
We do have a special announcement about next week, we'll get to that.
But the NFL, guys, NFL draft is just around the corner. And I mean, I think it's always a little anticlimactic when you know who the number 1 pick has been since about last year at this time. We knew who it was going to be this year. And but
you mean when the Cowboys trade Dak Prescott to the Bears and the Cowboys take him?
Oh gosh.
Hot take. Woo!
That's touchdown or turnover. That's a complete turnover. But anyway.
All right.
But that is our segment right now that we're getting into at the when it's the off season, try to bring that league into the light a little bit. So touchdown turnover. We are going to make a hot take, so call it, a statement about something that was either a headline or something that we've been paying attention to. And then the guys will respond with touchdown or turnover. Touchdown means you agree, and you'll kind of give us a little explanation of why you agree. Turnover means no chance. I disagree with that. And Here's why. So the very first one that I'm going to go with, okay, very first one, kind of besides draft stuff, not a whole lot of good headlines out there. You know, sometimes you can get some spicy ones, but my statement that I'm going to make here about the NFL is AJ Brown will not finish next season as an Eagle.
Will he start next season as an Eagle?
He will start as an Eagle. He won't finish as an Eagle.
No way.
So touchdown or turnover, Tyler?
Well,
I say
I don't know how you want. I like the angle that I can take on this because I don't think he's going to start the season as an Eagle.
Okay, so then he won't be an Eagle by the end of next season then.
Right. Yeah. So touchdown.
Touchdown. There you go.
But I'm trying to think. I'm like, oh. But
don't overthink it. Just tell us why.
No, and the reason why is I think the Eagles paying Devontae Smith the amount of money that they did as a number 2 receiver, I think was kind of telling that there's some rumblings around something going on in the locker room there. And this isn't the first time it's been with AJ Brown. I mean, in Philadelphia, like there's been rumblings last year too, where he's like, oh, he's unhappy. Oh, he's not going to do it. He's not going to, and so I honestly think that the Eagles are like, you know what? We're going to lock Devontae Smith down because Devontae Smith, I mean, many people might forget that guy won the Heisman in college, right? So he can be a number 1 wide receiver. You get overshadowed by somebody like AJ Brown because AJ Brown is just a monster, all right, in terms of size and ability and everything else. It's like on also any other team, though, Devontae Smith's going to be, number 1 receiver. I know the rumor is that AJ is going to go to the Patriots after seeing some of the rumors and stuff of him making Tom Brady his profile picture and Jacoby Brissett and following all these guys on the Patriots. And he grew up a Patriots fan. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I mean,
he did release a statement on that,
which was
I didn't
see a statement.
He made the comment of, geez, didn't realize that just by changing my profile picture was going to cause such a stir in the media. He just finished that documentary about the Patriots. I think it's called Dynasty or something like that.
Yeah.
And how Tom Brady was, just was his favorite quarterback and blah, blah, blah. So it didn't mean anything, but it definitely did something to make some waves, I would think, by doing such a thing. And you follow Jacoby Brissett then, and it's like
KJ, I think KJ Hamlin.
Yeah, like what's going on there? But Trey, touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown that he will not be with the Eagles by the end of the year, and I think it's simply because him and the head coach don't get along. I think him and Sirianni butted heads at the end of last year, and I don't want to say that he faked an injury, but I think he embellished an injury to sit out those games because I don't think he was interested in playing at all. And I think their locker room was in shambles, and I think it hasn't recovered because what's changed with the locker room besides Saquon Barkley joining the team, which can help. I mean, he's a good leader, but I think Sirianni's too immature. I don't think he's got a level head on his shoulders, and I think AJ Brown's a diva, and I think those personalities are going to clash, and he's not going to be there.
Yeah, I will say this: the fans and media in Philly won't help that situation either.
Oh, not at all. It's that no matter who the coach is, no matter who the player is that's in question, that's a hostile environment no matter who's involved. So
Yep. They boo and throw snowballs at Santa, so they will do that to you, AJ Brown, too. I think so.
I think they had a courthouse in their stadium at one point because people would just get arrested.
Wow. Jeez, allegedly. No, all right.
I got a touchdown turnover take.
Here we go. We're going up the cheese.
NFC North.
Nah,
three teams in the playoffs for the actually make it 5.
Whatever. No, mine is that the top 3 picks in this draft. I know we're going to do a draft episode. The top 3 picks in this draft are going to be quarterbacks.
Trey, can I actually?
Doesn't matter what team.
Well, hold on. Wait. Can I?
Yeah.
I mean, my touchdown turnover was going to be about quarterbacks in the draft as well.
Oh.
Maybe when we want to like combine these.
Yeah.
I was gonna say over under 3.5. No, 4.5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round.
Ty, you have to tell us, is it over or under? So we can agree.
I'm saying the line is 4.5.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but you have to say it's going to be over or under that.
Yeah.
That way we can give you a touchdown or turnover.
Come on, Ty.
Shut up.
But
All
let's okay. We'll get to that, Tyler. I do
Flag
like that.
play. You can't tell me to shut up.
But
Trey, I say touchdown.
You think the first 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks?
Correct.
Okay. Trent?
Touchdown. Don't overthink it.
So
that's
over.
Crazy, though. That's
over.
Does that happen a lot? Top 3 picks being quarterbacks?
It's a heavy. I think McAfee talked about it yesterday on Thursday. He said about how he had somebody on. He said about how offensive this draft is going to be, especially in the first round.
Oh yeah, since like 2016, I saw, or 2014.
Like super offensive. I mean, I feel like usually it's a ton of like edge and linebackers and maybe a sprinkle of corner here and there. But like,
so I have a question for you guys. With that, like, okay, so the theme last year was that there were a lot of very good young quarterbacks, right? Were first years as starting quarterbacks that were very successful, right? You had Richardson before he got hurt. You have Jordan Love. You had C.J. Stroud. You can't put
Jordan Love in there, dude.
I said first year as a starter. I said young quarterbacks as their first full years as starters. Hell, I'd even put
he's like 28.
Okay, again, first full year as a starter, and Brock Purdy included. So you have like 5 very prominent quarterbacks that are now going to be established in the league as influential. Do you think it's like a trend thing where owners and managers are like, all right, we can get a young guy that can change our franchise, and we got to get him. And you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think
it's like almost like Trent talks about with
like is someone going to reach for JJ McCarthy when there's an edge rusher or Marvin Harrison Jr. who is exponentially better at their position?
Is it a reach though?
In terms of JJ McCarthy as a quarterback and comparing Marvin Harrison as a wide receiver, Marvin Harrison is leaps and bounds better as a wide receiver than JJ McCarthy or Jaden Daniels or Drake May. Did he get drafted? I don't even know if he's in it this year or not.
We can't get too much in. Trey.
Gonna get drafted.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't stop talking. We are not going to get too into detail with the draft because we can sit there and talk about what's going to happen with McCarthy and all that. We are having a draft episode. I'm going to keep. I'll say first 3 picks are quarterbacks. That's all I'm giving you tonight.
It's crazy.
I'm saying that too. And then, so if you guys are cool with it, I say over 4.5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round. Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown.
$4.5. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy's 4. The only one I don't know about is Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
Big Penix energy.
Yeah.
Big Penix, baby.
So I think one of them would get drafted in the first round. But I don't know.
4.5 is a good line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, I have so many scenarios that I've played out so far, like while starting to plan my mock draft and stuff.
I don't think Bo Nix gets drafted in the first round. I think Michael Penix is the wild card.
Oh, good. Hey, Trey.
So you're gonna
Trey,
say
that's
touchdown?
a turnover.
I'm going to say
I'm saying to his comment about Bo Nix.
I'm going to say touchdown.
Okay. All right. So you guys both touchdown? I'm on the touchdown board as well. I will say this, and like I said, I know we don't want to touch too much on the draft here. I'm kind of getting excited, but I do have my entire mock draft done. First round.
Nice.
Already, dude. Like a lot of research today. I sent you guys some resources and stuff via text.
Yeah. Tell them when that's coming out, because I think it's a special release, right?
Yeah. So draft. I guess we got to kind of probably maybe come up with some sort of name for it. We'll come up with that. But we have our draft episode that's going to air next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. That way people can listen to it ahead of time. We can compare, contrast. Obviously, then when the draft actually occurs on Thursday. Not sure what you guys are doing. Maybe you want to watch a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But draft episode is going to be next Thursday. We're going to release our 3 mock drafts. But now understand it's just going to be our first round of our mock draft. So we'll have some insight. We'll have some input.
Applebee's isn't paying enough for me to do a full draft, guys.
So mock draft. We'll have some discussions, obviously, like Trey wanted to already get into tonight. I think there's a lot of hot topics. Because I think you're going to see a pretty active draft too in terms of some trades and things. It's going to be a little wild. It's so funny. What did I say now?
I think it was your laugh.
It wasn't laugh. That's what I was laughing at.
My laugh.
Yeah.
It sounded so forced.
It did.
No, I don't know.
I'm glad you realized that. That's what I was laughing at, Trent.
I'll have to listen to that. I didn't even pick up on it.
I thought he was being a dick. Like, it wasn't that
I thought he was too. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, how was it?
Yeah.
I've had a cold for weeks. Just kidding.
I can't wait till you listen back at it.
I'm glad that's what you were laughing at, Trent, because I was sitting there like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I actually didn't I didn't see his face while he was laughing. So I'm like, wait, was he just like mocking my joke there?
No, it's not.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Ty.
Hey, make sure though. Hey, so I have a board started too. So make sure to get me those drafts and stuff so we can actually put that out. We'll put that out. We're not going to put that out until Thursday morning. So we'll put our episode out on Wednesday, and then we'll put our board out of our draft picks and stuff on Thursday. So that way everybody kind of has a visual. But other than that, guys, anything else? I mean, I'd like to also one last thing. I'd like to say congratulations to Scotty Scheffler. Two of the last 3 Masters, right?
Yeah, he's unreal. Yeah.
So the dude is on. Yeah, he's on fire right now. I mean, doesn't seem like many people can stop him, but yeah. So shout out to Scotty Scheffler. That was a great win. But
congrats on the firstborn child too.
Yeah,
did she have it?
It will be his firstborn. I don't know if she had it yet. I thought she was gonna have it Sunday afternoon, but
yeah.
Then you saw him at a bar the next night or something like that, and
yeah, I'm sure it was a little hyped up, but
yeah.
It's going to be me a couple Sundays from now. I'm going to try to do a good job on 18.
Dude, if she would have had that baby that night or that evening, you imagine like the dopamine rush that guy experienced. Hey, let me just win the Masters and go right to my firstborn child's birth all in one night. Like, dude, you're never going to be happier ever in your life. You might as well just relax.
Get to hold the baby in the green jacket.
Hey, but think about that. You win the Masters and go watch your child be born. Like, who could dream something better than that?
Totally would have to have like a little jacket, like for
That's
so cool.
I would hope the hospital would do that too. Like, just kind of do it for him. Hey, fellas, it was a good episode though.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Like I said, keep an eye out. Obviously, we're not going to do next Friday. It's going to come out next Wednesday. All right. And I believe for a date real quick, that is Wednesday, April 24th will be our draft day episode. So appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Hey, take it easy, fellas.
Hey, let's go O's.
All right.
That's right. Bird gang.
Dong bong.